Hey guys, Legendary Grimlock here, and today we have Drogon versus the Indominus Rex. Alright, so this is actually going to be a new thing for most of the content as you go for it. We will be having versus battles, but they will be under the playlist such as Transformers Rise of the Beast, and in other things like in this situation, it will be in the Dinosaur and Wyvern Kingdom. So I have a few matchups planned for some dinosaurs from Jurassic Park and other franchises. So I really hope you guys enjoy this. But today we're going to be talking about the Winged Shadow versus the Untamable King. Who wins? Let's find out. Starting off with Drogon. So with the new year and stuff like that, we get right down to business. So Drogon would easily scale from city to city block, or sorry, city block to city level pretty easily. The reason why I say that is because he would scale to his fire breath. He's even been able to die through his fire breath when he was a lot younger and Daenerys could still barely ride him. Now, Drogon being able to do this and his fire breath easily demolishing things like city blocks, being able to push down the Red Keep, which again would take like city block level AP, and being able to tear apart the entire kingdom of King's Landing. Like, the city was burnt to the ground. Even destroying the Iron Fleet or Euron's fleet, he was able to do that with ease here. And again, he consistently does this with his fire breath here. Now, as for his physical strength, he's able to manhandle other dragons. It's actually even noted in the House of Dragons TV show how dragons both fight and how they're able to even kill each other despite the fact that they would scale to their fire breath. Drogon being able to fight Viserion, who's a very similar sized dragon to him, if not just slightly smaller. Again, Drogon was still able to not only manhandle him, but harm him. The same could be also said for Viserion as well. So, yeah, in all honesty, I think it's pretty simple that Drogon would scale to his fire breath, easily scales to city block, or city block to city, apologies. And his fire breath, right, let's talk about that. So his fire breath has a very destructive property to it, as it's able to hit a target and just explodes. When it comes to like how he was treating King's Landing, his fire breath seemed a little more explosive. It hit something and then it went kaboom. So everything that fire touches, which is kind of funny because everything that fire touches pretty much just burns, but it also could cause explosions as well, which again will also cause an impact force to knock over buildings. As for speed, I do agree that Drogon should be in the hypersonic margin because he was able to cross a very good distance from the castle he was at to the edge of the Great Wall where Jon and the rest of the survivors were. Now, the hypersonic margin at the lower end is around Mach 5, meaning that Drogon and the other dragons would scale to it, and Drogon would be faster and somewhat more agile than other dragons, meaning that he would be faster than, in all honesty, a lot of the dragons that are even in House of Dragons, probably like Cyrax, Caraxes, and many others. Definitely and easily Vhagar, but again, these dragons would still be in the hypersonic margin. So Drogon scaling to other dragons, you could easily say here. Now you might say, well, aren't these dragons more older and more experienced than him? Yes, but again, Drogon still has the AP power output and his own fighting skills to actually put him in a very comfortable area. A very comfortable area when it comes to fighting against the other dragons here. Now, comparing him to the other dragons is actually legit here, because again, the House of Dragons, or at least in the Dance of Dragons, we actually do see how smaller dragons are able to overtake and even kill much larger dragons with themselves by actually using their speed and agility to outmaneuver the bigger ones and just, well, tear their throats out most of the time here. So, in conclusion, Drogon should be around the city level, alright? You could argue city block for lower, but again, here, I just think he's more in the city levels, okay? With his fire breath, supersonic, hypersonic speeds and stuff. I think it's very consistent for him to at least be in that margin. So, let's move on to his opponent, the Indominus Rex. Now, the Indominus Rex, also known as the Untamable King, or probably Untamable Queen, because it was a female. The Indominus Rex itself would scale to large building level. I know that might sound crazy for a dinosaur, but hear me out, right? You guys still have to look at Jurassic Park as a fiction. And I think it's done a very good job of doing that, you know? You still have to understand, yes, these dinosaurs were once existing and stuff like that, but you have to note that these dinosaurs are still in a fictional verse. They're still fictional creatures with feet. They're animals, but animals with feet. Speaking of feats, the Indominus Rex has been able to take out Apatosauruses and even kill Ankylosauruses, with the Jurassic Park book stating that Ankylosaurus can actually take on and even fend itself against T-Rexes and Carnotauruses. T-Rexes in the Jurassic Park verse, with Rexy being the strongest T-Rex since it's pretty much confirmed here. Rexy would upscale from characters like Buck and the Bull Tyrannosaur from Jurassic Park 3, who were both able to not only handle, I guess you could say, damage to Spinosaurus, and Buck being able to, well, respectively destroy a bus by simply just giving it a, honestly, a decent nudge, to be fair. And again, Rexy was able to harm the Indominus Rex, but again, the Indominus Rex winded up overpowering Rexy, and even figuring out that, yeah, Rexy's pretty, you know, you're old and stuff, you know, but you still, you ain't got hands. So, it pretty much just did that and just winded up overpowering Rexy eventually. Now, yeah, Rexy had a good, you know, good grip and stuff like that, and being able to take a Tyrannosaurus's bite force is absolutely no joke, because again, that thing can just crush bones and everything. It's just absolutely ridiculous on what it is here. So, in all honesty, the Indominus Rex should scale to large building level. It's also able to tank attacks from RPG rounds, again, the Ankylosaurus, the Velociraptors, the T-Rex. And again, Rexy has bullied dinosaurs that have small building level attack potencies like the Carnotaurus. And even being able to bite through the gyrosphere, which was again the Indominus Rex's feet, which again should put it around the I guess you could say around the large building levels, you know, able to bite through a glass that was able to tank a decent caliber round like it was nothing. Even using her claw just to like poke through it. And again, it wasn't even trying, and it did that. So, yeah, the Indominus Rex is insanely powerful. But what can the Indominus Rex do? Now, the Indominus Rex was noted to be able to find its prey through heat sensory, or kind of like how, you know, snakes see in infrared and stuff like that. They're able to detect heat and stuff. And, yeah, the Indominus Rex apparently had that in it because of the pit viper DNA that was also in it. Now, the Indominus Rex had other flurry or other combinations of DNA, like Therizinosaurus, Giganotosaurus, Majungasaurus, Rugops, and many more that went into it. It was mainly an Abelisaurid combined with other DNA aspects like Velociraptor and in T-Rexes, and it gave it a lot more than expected here, such as camouflage and body temperature control. But that's going to do it for the Indominus Rex here. So, who wins between these two tyrants, these two kings? The Winged Shadow versus the Untamable King. The Indominus Rex versus Drogon. Let's start off here. Now, I think it's very simple where these two scale. I mean, Drogon is in a... I guess you could say he's in a league that's above the Indominus Rex here. Now, you could say the Indominus Rex is large building plus, and yeah, okay, I could agree with that. But when it comes to Drogon here, it's just like, he kind of surpasses that with the city block level. And then you go higher with the, you know, the city level. It's just, it doesn't look too good for our untamable king here is what I'm trying to say here. And again, putting the Indominus Rex against other dragons from Game of Thrones, it probably could fare better, maybe against one of the smaller dragons, but going against someone like Caraxes, who I think everyone can agree Drogon would be because he's a lot heavier. He's also, I guess you could say, he's done more than Caraxes so far. And Caraxes, we already know, is going to be able to eventually beat Vhagar. Vhagar is a dragon that's way bigger than Caraxes. Easily, you could put that one at city level. And Caraxes was still able to kill her in the book. Now, yes, it did cause himself to get killed as well, but he still was able to get the more lethal blow and at least survive until a certain point. You see, with Drogon being, I guess you could say, above Caraxes, he should be able to do the same thing as well, and probably come out a little bit better against Vhagar. Might be the same thing that happens, you never know. But then you have Drogon having a better long-range attack than the Indominus Rex. Now you might say, what if the Indominus Rex uses their camouflage to sneak up on Drogon and tries hit-and-run tactics? I don't think that's pretty smart on a dragon. I mean, if they fight in a neutral environment, which they will, which would be like a forest or something like that, a forest fire is going to be a lot faster than a city fire or a kingdom fire, if you will, right? But at the end of the day here, I think Drogon does take this here. I think physically speaking, they could probably go back and forth a little bit until Drogon decides to get aerial superiority and start slamming, his full weight on the Indominus Rex. I think they probably weigh around the same, but Drogon should be able to knock the Indominus Rex off balance here. It's also possible that he could pick up the Indominus Rex and throw her around. But at the end of the day, I give to Drogon here low difficulty at the most, high difficulty if he doesn't use his fire breath. But anyway, that's going to be all today, you guys. Please comment down below, like and subscribe and share with your friends. This is Legendary Grimlock, and I hope you guys have a blessed day. Peace.